Hello everyone, my name is Rage, and welcome one and all to the 3 Overwatch heroes that make me go, wait a minute, no, that's a different video entirely. Oh god, that is... Oh, alright, moving on. I know, I mean the 3 Overwatch heroes that resonate with me, that make me feel yes to play, and the 3 that I used to get to 65 last season. It's something that I believe everyone should have. If you're committed to being good at the game and really going for it, the minimum is your 3 heroes that you can rock. Your go-to heroes for if you are losing hard and you just gotta win, otherwise they won't release your family. So, for me, third on that list, look, it hurts to say this, I know, but it's Reaper. I know, it's the edgelord, but how could I not? I mean, my in-game name is Pandemonium, which really, I mean, that's kind of a Reaper name now, isn't it? Though, quick side tangent! I actually got the name Pandemonium from a game released in 1996 by the name of, shockingly, Pandemonium. It's a really fun, chaotic platformer that was really thrilling to play and something that I very much enjoyed when I was younger. In fact, it was one of the first games I ever played, so always remembering it fondly despite it not being the best to play right now. I've made my gaming name Pandemonium whenever I don't use my channel name. Tangent return! So, why Reaper? Well, I mean, no matter how much you look at Reaper and go, I mean, come on, he's just trying so hard. He's the most serious character in the game. He walks around touting about death. I mean, what kind of ego do you have to get turned into a spirit wraith monster and then be like, yeah, you know what, I'm just gonna roleplay the Grim Reaper from now on. I think that's pretty cool. And, you know, despite all that, I think we can all agree that deep down inside all of us, no matter how much we make fun of Reaper and his players, there is a little tiny part of you always going, you know what, it is actually admittedly kind of cool being all deaf with a shotgun and being like this wraith and dying. Admittedly, he is kind of cool. Because there is that part of you. There is the 6-year-old screaming out in agony. No, that's again my basement. Jesus Christ. Screaming out in happiness that you are playing the walking incarnation of death. And it does tickle my fancy, but lots of the gameplay, I just like his shotgun action. It's fun to get all up in people's faces after a repositioning and blast them down, and I have a lot of impact on Reaper. I mean, yes, he's a low-skill character, but it's fine. He's a good character to warm up with before a game of competitive, and if we just need some instant offensive clout, he's easy to pick and just shotgun people down, because a lot of people, for some reason, just can't deal well with death in their face, and his ulti, of course, is always fun to use. But fear not, guys, because I go whole hog and embrace the edgelord inside of me. Wait, what's that? You want me to play Reaper? Well, okay. Give me a moment. So, to summarize, I just love his playstyle. I love appearing around the battlefield, surprising people, and blasting them down with shotguns, as well as having a very high impact ult. I feel like I can somewhat control a game if I'm solo queuing as Reaper, and that's why I like him. I don't want to go into nitty-gritty tips, tricks, like advanced play in this. I want this to be just a more fun, discussion-y video. Besides, there are thousands of guides out there. Next up, then, my second best and most played character, we have D.Va, which is interesting because I initially really hated her playstyle. She seemed very slow, bulky, and ineffectual to me, but once I got into how she's supposed to be played, how you can really push her and actually be a really mobile flanker tank that can also serve on the front line, absorbing lots of damage, learning how to flick her new defense matrix on and off to counter ultis and really just be a general irritant in the fight. I like to think of D.Va as a bulky tracer who is just as annoying when played correctly. Definitely lower damage output, but obviously a lot more survivability and a lot more ways to shut down. She's a very versatile character, and even with the nerf to the E, the flicking is a little bit worse, but you can still definitely catch a lot of ultis, and I feel like when I have at least a few teammates behind me, I can really do some lovely stuff. The amount of times I've captured a control point or a payload with a well-placed ulti and got 4 or 5 kills, even in high ranks, is really high up there. I've got kind of a way with predicting where the mech people will be when it goes off, so it's always a very satisfying thing to do, and it's always cool to be in control of such a powerful ability, to be able to just get everyone the hell out of there. Also, you know, it totally gives me the excuse to constantly walk around and go, "Love D.Va," whenever I kill someone, because truly, within me, I secretly identify as a young Korean gamer girl. It's really who I was born to be. So yeah, D.Va, big fan of her playstyle, and she surprisingly has a massive damage output. What people don't realize as D.Va players is you are totally fine to just get in people's faces, like hug them, boost right into their mugs, and fill it with hot laser, because you will kill most people really quickly, because A, it throws them off guard, but even if it doesn't and they stand and fight, with good aim, you tend to beat a lot of people. And then being out of the mech as Zero Suit D.Va, you do so much damage. You're so agile. You are a jumpy little motherfucker, really hard to hit while pounding down on people. And if there's a Roadhog, well, now you've just got a walking mech charge battery to shoot and get back in the fight. I've had games where I've not died once and called down about 17 mechs, because you can just keep it chaining with good positioning and awareness, and I just kind of love that feeling of irritating power that just doesn't die unless you get really focused down and chased by the enemy team once they've had enough of your shenanigans. So yeah, D.Va. And then at number 1, the one that I love to play the most, the one that I am by far the best at, my main hog of the name Road. Yes, indeed, I love this guy, and it was a surprise, because initially I thought I would hate him as a character, hate playing as him, hate seeing him, but I really don't. I've just really clicked with him as a character and really got into the mindset of the hog, the twisted place that it is, and I think one of the most satisfying reasons to play him, and indeed it's the same reason it's so satisfying to play Punch in Dota, is the hook, because the hook is a guaranteed salt application device, and I think that's something that we don't consider when picking our characters. We have to choose based on a lovely salt application factor. How irritated is my opponent going to get when I kill them with X over Y? You've got to always consider that for maximum psychological warfare, and getting hit by the hook and then dying puts people through a whole spectrum roller coaster of emotions. You have the people who are there going all the way to the people who are going, fuck you, fuck, I'm no, fuck this, that was bullshit, that was through 7 walls, 3 continents, and 2 planets, fuck you, and your boogie ass character. And it's just very warming to my heart to know that on the other end of my hook is a very angry person, most likely. So that has got to be one of the core enjoyments of playing the hog, and the other is just his gun is so powerful. It feels great to one-shot so many of the characters, to be this unkillable nightmare, because again, a lot of Roadhogs really don't get that if you play right, you can just never die. 9 out of 10 games on the Hog, I have more healing done than the supports on my team because of my use of his breather. It's so easy to be a little bit reckless, take a bit of damage, back off, hide, heal up, and repeat. You don't need to play him as a tank. In fact, me and the rank group that I play with, we don't consider him a tank, and I fully agree with that because he's just a big bruiser that does a lot of damage in little bursts every now and then, especially with his hook cooldown, and he's just such a threat. He creates this zone of no-go around him where his hook ranges, and he's just an intimidating character to try and run up to and fight, despite a lot of heroes being able to run up to him and fight. And don't even get me started on Hog versus Hog. If you are a Roadhog, do not hook an enemy Roadhog, because what will happen, you will hook him, he will get out the stun, he will shoot you, you've shot him, 1 each, you need 1 more hit to kill a Hog, 2 does it at close range, he will then hook you, because he hasn't used his hook, and do the next attack while you're stunned, and you will die. Now, a bad Hog can fail in the situation where he's hooked, but generally, the Hog that hooks last also laughs last. That's the mantra that you need to remember, and he's just a really nuanced character that has a lot of skill going for him, because hitting the hook isn't hard, let's be honest here, but staying alive, using your breather, combining some flanky shenanigans with some frontline area denial, using the right click of the shotgun at the perfect range, aiming at people's heads and bursting them down, you can be an absolute nightmare on Hog. I feel like I can do it all, especially when I solo queue. I can stay alive, I can kill people, I can deny key members of the opposing team like an ulting Genji, and it just feels like I get a lot of control over the game and can really help my team while playing the Hog. Also, I think he's got a wonderful character design. He really is. This big, massive dude who still has arms who are the size of tree trunks with the muscles to match, which is good because they can lift 3 T-Rexes, and if you want to know how they can do that, I did some maths on him, which you can find in the description. Oh, self-promotion achieved, yeah! So, there you go, everybody. Those are my 3 characters and a brief little insight as to why I like them. And by the way, I do not think I am all that on any of these 3 characters. If I'm honest with you, you can always improve, and I certainly have a lot of flaws with a lot of them. Hog specifically, my right-click game does need a little bit of work. I have a nasty over-flicking habit where I rush my mouse round to someone, but always go just a tiny bit past their face and miss every now and then, and it really costs me kills that I should get. So it's something I've been definitely working on. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and I will see you next time. Let me know if you like stuff like this. Like, if you did enjoy it, really does help me and the channel out, especially if we can reach those magical 4 figures. Subscribe for more. I have been Rage. A good boy.